Hey there, what's going on? Chris Cervantez, eHomes, coming at you with the monthly market update for the city of Claremont for the month of November. So I have some great news, and you've got to stay tuned because it's actually very, very good news for both sellers and buyers. The good news is, let's just start off with the good stuff and then you can just skip this video. The good news is that as of today, the inflation numbers came out, the CPI numbers came out, the consumer price index, and basically inflation is on its way down. Fingers crossed, we've seen the peak. That peak is now behind us. That's to be determined, but basically interest rates follow inflation numbers. So fingers crossed, we've already seen the interest rates drop here in the last 24 hours, which is fantastic news. The most recent numbers that I checked, we were looking in the high sixes. That's great news for new buyers. That means it just got a little bit cheaper to obtain that loan, which is fantastic. That's also great news for sellers because time will tell, but those buyers should loosen up a little bit and they should be able to step up to the plate, make those offers on those homes that are for sale. So that is great news. To be determined. I also read something else that said when the Fed meets in December, there's a higher thought or a higher probability of them only going up by a half a point instead of three quarters of a point like they have been in recent meetings, which is another great indication that fingers crossed interest rates should not be so strong going up. So let's jump into the numbers. Pretty surprising numbers also. So in Claremont right now we have 44 homes on the market compared to just September a couple months ago we had 57 homes on the market. So we're definitely seeing that inventory tick down a little bit, which is helpful for the sellers that are actually on the market because that way the fake sellers, the people that aren't interested in selling, they're out of the way now. Pending homes, we have 23 homes in escrow right now. Closed sales. So closed sales have dropped off substantially here in the last 30 days. Mind you, here in the last 30 days, we've been swimming in that 7% pool. So this is a clear indication that these buyers really have rejected it. At least here in Claremont, because we've had 17 homes sell in the last month. Compared to last year, we had 28 homes sell in the same period of time, and even last month we had 41 homes sell. So 17 is a substantial drop, which it is what it is. The list price to sales price ratio, which is a great number that I think is going to show us what's happening with pricing. On average, homes are selling 1.69% below the asking price, which isn't too bad. A common question or a common statement that I've been getting recently is you have people that are saying, oh, we thought prices went down 10%, 20%. I just spoke with a gentleman the other day. He thought that pricing went down 25%. And that's just not the case. That might be happening in other areas of the country, but not here in Southern California yet, and I don't think it's going to happen. The absorption rate, which is the temperature gauge of the market, we're at 1.7 compared to last month. It was 1.45. So that means that we have about 1.7 months of inventory on the books, which is still a seller's market. The median sales price is $875. So $875 year over year, that's 11.1% above where we were last year. So that's pretty surprising. I was expecting a single digit number, but that's far past a single digit. So we'll see. We'll see how that number comes in the coming months. The average days on market right now has jumped substantially. So last month it was in the high 20s. Now we're at 37 days on average. And then we compare that to the same time last year, it was 19 days on the market. So we've almost doubled that number, 1 day short of that. Yeah, we'll see what with interest rates, etc. I think that's going to help that come back down. So let's talk highest and lowest price. Highest price in all of Claremont in the last 30 days. It was 648 Pomello. That was a 4-bedroom, 8-bathroom home, 6,786 square feet. It was originally listed for 2.88888888. But it actually sold for $2,180,000. So that was a pretty substantial cut. They listed, I'm not going to say at the wrong time, but they listed right there in the smack dab middle of when rates just went crazy. It looks like the buyer did obtain financing, so they definitely were impacted by that. It sold for 24% below the original asking price. I'm not going to look too much into that because you've got to ask yourself, so what if they listed for $5 million? and they sold it for 2.18. I mean, it's still a 6,700 square foot house, right? So eventually it would have sold for that low $2 million mark. Now the lowest sale in all of Claremont was 659 South Indian Hill Boulevard, Unit B. This was on the market for 20 days. It was one of the condominiums. We talked about this complex in the past. It was originally listed for $459. It sold for $469, so $10,000 above, which is great for the sellers. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. 1,088 square foot home. It was highly upgraded, so the flooring was done, the kitchen was nice, one of the bathrooms was upgraded, one of the other bathrooms still looked original, but nonetheless they still got it done within 3 weeks, which is great. So curious what you think. Do you think that interest rates are going to continue to go down as the inflation kind of softens up? And also I'm curious to hear about what your thoughts are if you're a buyer. Are you going to wait until the rates go down even more? Or are you thinking that, now is as good as it's going to get and you're ready to jump into the market? Curious what your thoughts are. Leave them all in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.